Hey guys, welcome back to another FPL stream, and this one is super special because we're together finally. I posted that I was in London yesterday. I posted a match vlog and on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, which I'm still trying to figure out how to use, and so we were like, yeah, let's just do this in person.
How exciting.
Finally.
I know.
We've known each other for so long and we just met in person yesterday. So it was super cool. So we're just in my Airbnb. If you have any questions for us, feel free to, of course, put them in the comments. And yeah, so how are you doing today?
Yeah, good. Tired, very tired and stressing about my team. I don't like an early deadline because it makes me makes decisions early, and I just like making them on Saturday morning when I can just chill. And this is turning out to be quite a big decision for me this game week.
So what are you deciding on?
So I was always, it's so funny, if you rewind like 5 weeks, it was always like, you need Lukaku, you need Ronaldo, the two players you need. And this week, they are the two players I'm taking out. Obviously, the Lukaku one is enforced, and I have to take him out because I'm not sure if he'll play again before the international break. Maybe for Burnley, but I think he'll miss tomorrow and Southampton. So I'm taking him out and I'm taking Ronaldo out. Now, one player I've already made the transfer is Jamie Vardy in, but I don't know who the other player is. I don't know who to go for. I think there's no one that's really standing out. There's no one that's like jumping out at me in terms of like forwards. Yeah. I'm putting in Kai Havertz as well. So I'm taking a -4. I wish I had the balls to captain him. Like, if there was ever a time to captain Kai Havertz, it would probably be at home to Norwich. But I just think Salah's in too good a form for me to avoid. But yeah, we'll get on to captains later. But yeah, it's who I bring in up front.
I feel
I just don't know.
I mentioned to bring in Vardy last week, and I'm like, why don't I go with my gut with these things? Because I was just kind of waiting for Lukaku and for Ronaldo to deliver, and they've just been blanking every week. So I also brought Jamie Vardy in. Difficult game, Brentford away, but I feel like even if Leicester haven't been in the best of form, he's still getting a lot of goal contributions.
He's gone under the radar.
He's gone under the radar massively because he's not like one of the new strikers.
And also, I know they've got less like Arsenal at home, but I would like expect Jamie Vardy to score against Arsenal. Leeds, 100% I'd expect Jamie. You know, those games are very open, and then it's obviously got Chelsea, but then he's got a really nice run of games. Yeah. So I'm happy with that Vardy transfer, but I'm just so stuck. I've put it on Twitter, I've put it on TikTok, like I put it on every social media platform out there, like, for you to help me out, guys, because I just don't know. Like, do I go to Ivan Toney, who's got 3 nice fixtures after this one? Do I go a bit different? Maybe go like Danny Ings? Do I even go even more rogue and go Brozier, who obviously scored last weekend? So there's too many options, but no like standout.
Yeah. I took a -4. I took Ronaldo out for Toney. Yeah. I didn't think about it too much. I was just like, you know, I'm not like going to be super happy with it, but it's more for me to have money in the bank to be able to do other things and bring Trent in and maybe Havertz next week. I'm bummed I can't bring Havertz in. I would have to take a -8 to get him in, and I just wasn't going to do that for this match. But I went for Toney, and he hasn't scored like as many goals as I thought he would, honestly. But I'm hoping like with the favorable fixtures, like he can start scoring.
He's looked better, hasn't he? Yeah. Like, I had him in from the start and was like, yeah. And then he sort of went a bit. I think he scored once, and then he was just a bit nothing. But I think the last few weeks he's been particularly impressive. I can't even remember if he had a chance. I think he did have a chance against us.
I think he was unlucky.
And I think that Brentford create so many chances that I think more like sooner or later he will score. And I want him or like a Bryce or a Brentford like midfielder.
Yeah, like
Mbeumo, I think it was Mbeumo. For their run of games after Leicester. It's just so annoying that I've got this Leicester game in the way, because if they had like I don't know, someone at home, I wouldn't even hesitate to put Toney in.
I think like Leicester haven't been playing like especially well, so I don't think that it could be like that. But like it's going to be a hard game, but I think that like they were so look how strong they were against us, like creating so many chances, and I think Leicester have been conceding more. So it could be a good option. I just kind of was like, I don't want to think about it too much. If I think about it, I'm gonna miss the deadline.
This is the problem. Like the more I think about it, the less like I even want to do any transfers. Like if you have a transfer in your head, you should just do it, because I'm just like, now I'm sat here. It's 3:30. When's the deadline? 4:30? 5:30?
I think it's like 6. I thought it was like 6. It's
no, it's 6:30.
Yeah.
Kick off at 8, 6:30. I don't know what I thought it was 4. So I've got like 3 hours to decide, and that means that's going to be 3 hours of me waiting until 6:25 to make my decision.
Well, then you'll just go with your gut decision and whatever.
I'm just so stuck, you know. I just don't know.
I mean, if you keep Ronaldo, it's not like the worst thing in the world. I just like didn't like the look of that Liverpool fixture.
I'm worried about that as well.
About Christensen.
Yeah. Because I think Chalobah's back, Sarr played well, Rudiger's back, Thiago Silva's back, Christensen played 90 against Malmo.
Yeah.
As did Thiago Silva, so it really wouldn't be surprised if Chalobah comes in.
Yeah. So guys, well, you guys couldn't see, but Olivia showed me her phone and she has Christensen in her team. So I have Aspie because I feel like he's going to play more or less every game. And then I think I have Sarr on my bench. So I was like, even if he doesn't play, I would be happy. So even if Aspie doesn't play, I would be happy with Sarr coming in just to have like a little bit of depth. But I think Christensen is probably like the most prone to rotation risk.
Yeah, and he definitely is. Like, but
he just scored. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, he would deserve a start. I literally saw a stat the other day. It's like 42 clean sheets in his last 51 competitive games. Like, what? That's mental. He deserves to start against Norwich. I think he should start against Norwich. He scored. It was a very good goal as well.
Yeah.
I'm really a bit worried about that.
When I was at the bridge, I was like, I saw the goal, but I was like, who scores that? And then it came out like Chelsea goal number 4, Andreas Christensen. I was like, what?
I thought it was Mount. When I first saw it, I was like, great finish. It must have been Mason Mount.
Yeah, it was like a striker attacking midfielder finish. It was insane. I'm just taking a look at these comments that we've been getting in. Oh my god, we've gotten so many. I'm in London, guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Whoop, whoop.
That's so brave.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I had the balls to captain Havertz, especially because I'm taking a -4 to bring him in, so I want to make sure like it's worth the -4, but I just don't have the balls to do that.
Did you post about this on Twitter? I feel like I saw somebody say like, if you're transferring Havertz in, you -12.
I think it was Gianni, wasn't it?
I think
if you're taking a -4 to transfer Havertz in, you might as well captain him. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like. I think it's already a little bit of a risk bringing Havertz in anyway, because 1, his form, 2, we just don't like. I know he obviously came on against Malmo and he scored and stuff.
Yeah. There goes your fucking
so close to falling off the bed. I think it's already a risk, and I just don't want to go double the risk when someone like Salah, I know he's got a tough game, but he's in such good goal scoring form that I can't look past him, I don't think.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just double checked my captain armband and it is currently on Salah.
Yeah.
And I don't really have anybody else who's like convincing me otherwise. Like I've Conor Gallagher, I'm not going to captain him. Rafinha, I'm not going to captain him. Antonio hasn't been in good form. I'm kind of thinking about if I should transfer him out, but I just have other players I want to transfer out. And I don't quite like, maybe Vardy would be the only other option, but still like Brentford is a tough game. So I feel like I'm probably going to go with Salah. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm still going to stick with Salah. My captaincy's on Salah. He's just in too good a form, and Man United's defence is, to put it kindly, all over the shop. So, like, I'm not saying that Liverpool are going to win it comfortably. I'm just saying that I think Liverpool will score, and Salah, I think, will probably... Like, I mean, 90% of the time he's involved in their goals. So, yeah, I just don't... There's no one else that's jumping out to me, not with those fixtures. So I'm just going to stick with stick with Salah,
Yeah.
I think. But I am going to transfer Havertz in.
I saw like a ridiculous stat that he's having like the best start to a Premier League season that he's ever had or something like
Salah?
that. Yeah.
He's just in
It's, like,
ridiculous form, isn't
ridiculous.
he? He's annoyingly. I mean, I could really do with that game being a draw from a Chelsea and a selfish perspective, because I would love Liverpool to drop points in that. You know, if it's like not like a lose-lose or a win-win, but like, I don't want Liverpool to win.
Yeah.
But then if Man United win, it sort of helps us out because we then go 3 points clear of Liverpool, but Man United then get back on their high horses thinking they're suddenly good again. Yes, I don't want Liverpool to win because then they stay like obviously a point behind us if we win as well. So I think a draw would be a perfect result here.
Yeah.
We win and we go 3 points clear.
I will say I'm like much less worried about Man United than
they're not in the title race.
Yeah, I don't think so, especially like seeing how they've been performing, like even in the Champions League against the opposition that they should be beating. And I feel like they tend to go into big games like for a draw. Like I don't see them necessarily.
Well, they're at home as well, so I don't know what they're going to be like in this game. This is their first Big Six game. Like considering they're like in like fifth, I think they're fifth or sixth. They're sixth.
Oh, wow.
They're already 5 points off us, and they haven't played one Big Six game yet.
That's crazy.
So this is their first Big Six game, and obviously they've got Tottenham and Man City.
It's going to be like interesting to see how it plays out because Chelsea have played such hard. We've had like the hardest opening.
I would probably say us and Man City have had the hardest games. But now it's when we've got like Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley. Man United have got Liverpool, Spurs, City. So it's going to be
it's going
to make sure we win our games, and it doesn't matter what happens in those big games.
Definitely. I'm just going through all the questions. Devansh says, I have 2 free transfers and want to take out Lukaku and Saka. Should I get Toney and Foden in? What do you think about Phil Foden? Because I think he looks quite strong, but I just like, for me, like the Pep Roulette, like I have Cancelo and that's already like too much.
Yeah, literally. I was about to say exactly that. I'm like, he was so good in their Champions League win. And the game before that, I can't remember who did they last play in the league? Burnley, 2-0, best player on pitch, scored. Who got an assist? I think he got an assist. But I just don't want to get involved in Pep Roulette. I think Ivan Toney's a good shout. His fixtures, like we said after Leicester, are very, very good, and he's a player that I want to get in for that run of games. So I probably will put in Toney, but it's so annoying because like everyone in leagues around me has Toney.
Yeah,
everyone's put in Vardy, so it's like you don't then gain any points on anyone. You're just getting the same amount of points, so it's a bit frustrating. But I can't then put in someone else just because other people have got Toney. Like if I think that's the best option, then I've got to go with it. So I think Toney's a good option, and Foden is a good option because I still think I think he'll play, but it's whether you want to risk it.
I'm too nervous about that. Sentence goes, Havertz captain and get Toney in. So easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with FPL is easy.
I've been so sad about my team. Like I feel like every week I'm just like hoping for the best, and then I've been like super, super average. Tara says, I wouldn't be surprised if Ronaldo scores a winner against Liverpool, especially after Jamie Carragher refused to put him in the combined Man United and Liverpool line.
I get that though. Like I get right now, Firmino, Salah and Mane are playing better than any United attacker. So I get, and also the thing with Ronaldo is, I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me either. Like it's just what Ronaldo does is he scores big goals in big games when you need him to. But against Liverpool, you have to be able to put pressure on Liverpool's defense. You have to press from the front. Look at what Man City did to us when De Bruyne and Jesus, they all just came and they pressed so much. Ronaldo doesn't do that. Ronaldo does nothing apart from stays in the box and scores those big goals, which is obviously important, and you're obviously going to play him. But I'm not willing to spend 12.5 million on someone or have 12.5 million forward on my bench in my team that occasionally might pop up with a goal. I think it says a lot that he keeps doing it in the Champions League against Atalanta and whoever what other rubbish teams they play in the Champions League. But like the level of quality in terms of like opponent and the quality of the opposition, it's so much so much better in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he's been struggling in the Premier League. What, no goals in 4? Is it now? Blanked in his last 4?
Yeah.
So, again, it wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not keeping him in my team because
it's just so much money.
Yeah, like I'm not keeping him in my team because I think he might pop up with a winner. Like I want someone who is going to have shots, is going to have chances as well. And Ronaldo's just not that for that price.
I think like for me as well, I had Lukaku and Ronaldo, and there's just like so much reliance on 2 players. And I'm trying to like distribute the wealth a little bit. And so hopefully next week, I think next week I'm going to transfer Trent back in. So I'll have a back line of Aspie, Cancelo, and Trent. So it's like very likely to get clean sheet points like across that back line, and then like attacking returns as well. So I'm kind of like investing heavily in my defense because I'm not super convinced by like any attacker right now. Like I don't feel like anybody is an absolute must-have. I don't, except Salah, but he's the only person in my team that I'm like must-have. Joel says, Olivia, I have Rudiger and Christensen. Will they play, do you reckon?
Genuinely, I actually think that this is the type of game that he would rest players like that. Rudiger came back from an injury, played 90 minutes against Malmo. I'm not saying that he's definitely going to get rested, but I think if there was ever a game where he was going to get rested, it would be Norwich at home. But it's just too impossible to predict. I've got Christensen. I'm not feeling that great about it. I'm hoping that because he scored and played really well that he might start against Norwich. But it's Tuchel roulette is the thing. And Chelsea have currently got too many central defenders that have all, when they've come in and been called upon, played well. Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if he went with someone like Thiago Silva in the middle and then Sarr and Chalobah either side of him. Like that really wouldn't surprise me tomorrow. So I would say it's a risk right now, especially having them both. If I was to have one, I'd say long term, Rudiger's probably the best option, but it still wouldn't surprise me if he gets rested for Norwich.
Yeah, I think like the big thing as well is that like before Sarr had that incredible performance against Brentford, there's nobody really to like take Rudiger's spot.
Yeah, that left
competing for that spot, and now he's coming. And it's like, oh, now he's another name to add to the list that he can also get minutes as well. So I have Aspie, Olivia has Christensen. I think with any Chelsea player, you're running the risk that they're going to get rotated out. So I would recommend if you have a Chelsea player, try to have somebody on your bench that you like, that you don't mind that they come in case they don't start. And I personally don't like to double up on defense. I think the only time I've done it was last season when City were just like unbeatable and it was just like 6 points every week. But other than that, I feel like it's like quite a big risk to double up on defense as well. If I had to choose one, I'd probably go for Rudiger. Let's see. I lost my place. It always does that. Okay. Let's see. Wild cards alert. Yeah, I used my wild card in like Game 4. Jay, thanks so much. I appreciate it. FPL Rubber Ducky says Havertz is a great differential. Having him is enough. There's no need to captain.
You say that, but a lot of people have transferred in Kai Havertz for this game week.
Let me see.
Like, I reckon his ownership will have gone up so much already.
Let's check. It's 6.7%.
Okay, slow down. So it's still a differential, but
can you check what it used to be?
You can't. So like that's how many people. So 338,000 people had him for the game against Brentford, which is weird considering he hadn't played for ages. But I reckon for game week 9, that's going to go up even more. Oh, I wish I had my. I do have my laptop on me. I have like a
he's not one of the most.
Oh, that's good. Go on, if you go on more. I want to see where he is live. He's the 6th most transferred in player. So Vardy's top, then it's Townsend, Chilwell, who's also a very good shout. Salah. I mean, for the 236,000 of you that haven't already got Salah, what on earth are you doing? As for Equator 5th, and then Havertz is 6th, so over 230,000. 230,000 managers have transferred in Havertz, which is actually annoying, but it's actually compared to like Vardy when it's like over 1 million have transferred in Vardy.
That's
so
insane.
he still is a good differential, like not.
I'm so annoyed because I've been saying I said to transfer party last week, and now all of a sudden this week everybody's transferring him in.
It's because of Lukaku, isn't it? That's the only reason. Like everyone would have had kept Lukaku and captained him against Norwich. So it's just it's so annoying that that's happened and like forced everyone into a change. And because he's so expensive, you can afford almost anyone.
Exactly. Yeah. God, that's crazy. Josh says, who do we think to start, Adama or Jota?
Adama, I'm just over Adama Traore. Like I really like watching him. I think he's a great player, but he's just not a good FPL player. So out of those two, I would go Jota. I still think he's not going to go with all four of them. Can you drop Firmino after scoring a hat-trick? Although I think Jota would cause the Man United defence more problems because they've got a lack of pace now that Varane's not playing. But yeah, out of the two, I would go Jota. Although Adama Traore is probably more likely to play, but I think you're more likely to get returns even off the bench from.
Yeah, I transferred out Jota.
He hasn't been great this season. You can't guarantee he's going to play. You need players that are.
Yeah, especially for his price as well. He's not like so cheap.
Yeah.
Sundance goes to last a boring pig. I thought you guys were more wild.
Not this early on. Not this early on. I usually buy I give myself 10 game weeks towards the end of the season, and if I'm doing well, I take it seriously, and if I'm not doing well, that's when I'll start to go rogue. But you can't go rogue this early. There's no point going rogue this early. I think for me, even putting Havertz in is going a bit rogue, considering he's been pretty poor this season. He scored 1 goal.
He's gonna score.
I hope so.
I haven't transferred him in, so
it means he's gonna score. Yeah. But yeah, no, not wild, not this wild just yet. But maybe later on. Depends how my season goes.
That's hilarious. Nifu says, who should I replace Romelu with? Basically, main people we said Vardy is the very obvious one.
The thing is, no one's spoken about Harry Kane.
Yeah,
now he scored his first Premier League goal last time, and it's a lot of money. And I'm not going for Kane, but he would be another differential. He loves a goal in a London derby, scores all the time against West Ham. So if you were feeling brave, which I'm not, if you were, you could go he's a little bit more expensive, I think. So you'd need to have some money in the bank. I think he's $1 million more expensive.
Let's check.
Kane's 12.5, I think.
12.1
and what Lukaku's 11.5? Is that right?
11.5, 11.6.
Yeah, so you could go Kane if you have money in the bank, but I think Vardy's a pretty good option.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced by Harry Kane this season. Maybe he will take off, but just scoring 1 goal, I'm
he probably will.
It's Harry.
Yeah, it's Harry Kane. I think at some point he's going to start scoring, and he'll probably become the player that everyone sort of wants. But until that happens, I don't think it's going to be any rush to get him in.
No. Last season, he was my player that I always had. Had Harry Kane. Yeah. Someone said Mount will play, or no, I want to captain him. Yeah, I think he'll play, especially because Werner and Lukaku are both out. I don't think Mount is a great FPL asset though. He doesn't score. Maybe he'll get an assist. If it's a corner or something, but it's really quite rare, I think.
Yeah, he's not he's more often than not the best player on the pitch.
Yeah,
but it was like Hazard, and sometimes Eden Hazard wasn't a great FPL player because he would do everything and then play a 2-yard pass, and someone else would play a 2-yard pass, and that player would get the assist and the other player would get a goal. He would never get the goals and assists.
Yeah.
It's the same with Mount, really. More often than not, he's the best player on the pitch, but for some reason he's just not a good FPL player. But this is a good time for him, good time for someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi, who I think might start on the left of a front 3 against Norwich.
I'm thinking Ruben might come in as well.
I hope he plays in the field, yeah. But yeah, in a front 3, Mount will definitely play tomorrow. We haven't got that obviously Pulisic's out injured, joining Lukaku and Werner, so we haven't actually got that many options. So Mount will. I thought it was really good against Mount though. I think he'll play.
Really
captain's bold. That is a bold captain choice.
Yeah, that is very bold.
If you want to go wild this early, you do that.
I don't have the balls to do that. Well, we're getting so many questions. Thank you guys. Hope you're enjoying. It's super fun to be here again. It's chat. Yeah, I love it. Which three should I bench? From Trent, Diaz, Cancelo, Gallagher, Toney? how do you say it? Mboma?
I would bench one of Diaz or Cancelo because you don't know if they're both going to play. Oh, actually, I suppose if you wanted to play them both, and you like, they got a tough fixture though, Man City.
I think like normally
I wouldn't bench Gallagher. Newcastle at home. Maybe a Toney or an Mbumo, because you like Leicester. I know Brentford did really well against Chelsea, but it's a tough game. Like Leicester. I know they're at home, but I maybe think one or the other.
Yeah, I don't think you need both.
Next week, maybe both, because they've got a nice run of fixtures. But I think for a tough game like this, maybe. So I reckon Mbumo probably.
Who's Southampton playing?
They got Burnley at home.
That seems like quite nice.
Yeah,
as well.
I would play Livramento.
The thing is, like, if you play, like, if you have Diaz and Cancelo, they both could potentially play, but they do have difficult fixtures. Yeah, I'll probably bench one of them. But they're just so expensive that it like pains me to say like that you should bench one of them because they're like 6 mil.
Yeah, but if you're willing to if doubling up, I'm just not about doubling up on a defense. Like I don't.
Especially
I watched Man City Burnley, and if Burnley actually had like a half decent striker, like they could have scored. They had some big chances, and I expect Brighton to create some good chances as well. So yeah, maybe go Mbumo, one of Diaz and Cancelo, and probably like Wang there, or Wang Yi-chan. He's what they've also got Leeds away. Is that right? I think so. Like out of those three are probably the ones that are standing out, I would say.
Yeah, agree. I like Livramento has actually been pretty good. I mean, he hasn't gotten like many attacking returns, but I feel like he's looked so strong. And,
I'm playing Livramento this week.
Yeah, I am as well.
Bargain.
Siddent said, will Reece play? I transferred him in. I think so. He didn't start again against Malmo in the Champions League. I think he came on for like 20, 30 minutes or so.
Again, I don't know.
But is he like I don't know. I thought that he was going to start that Malmo game, but I was thinking maybe he's still coming back from injury and they're just being like very preventative with it. I don't know. Since you have Aspie there, you could literally...
I don't know if Reece James is going to start. Oh, transferred him in. That's a big shout. Yeah, I don't know. I would like him to start. I think it would be a good game for Reece James to start. And if he does start, then you've got a great chance of him returning, because we all know what he's like putting balls into the box and stuff like that. So
totally.
But again, it's just trying to predict what Thomas Tuchel's going to do. And it's literally impossible. It's literally as bad as Pep. Like it literally is.
Yeah, so. Especially with the defense. I feel like last season you kind of more or less knew the defense, or maybe like one person would be a surprise. But now this season, it's like I have no freaking clue. I could justify any of them. I tried to do my match previews, and it's just like impossible. I'm like, you know what, guys? Like, I don't know why I'm even bothering to try to do this, because they're all so good. It's so kind. Thank you so much, Dami. I really appreciate it. And Saeed as well. That's so cool. They both have YouTube channels. Make sure to give them a shout as well. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Arthur says, should I replace Lukaku with someone like Ronaldo or Kane, or go for someone like Antonio and make use of budget to bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold in defense? I don't like it. I really don't like the look of Antonio. I was telling Liv, I think off air, that I am thinking about transferring him out, but it's just like a pretty good option, but he just hasn't done much in the last like 4-5 game weeks. I think he had like 1 goal.
If there was like a decent option, I would transfer him out, but there's just not. Like, there's no one to replace Mikel Antonio with if you've already got him. I think so obviously if you're taking out Lukaku, don't put in Ronaldo, because Ronaldo's been in rubbish form in the Premier League and hasn't scored in like 4, and they've got Liverpool. So I would, they've got Liverpool, Spurs, Man City. I don't want Ronaldo for those run of games. Bruno's out, I think, of the game on Sunday as well. So I don't know if that'll make a difference. But Kane, I think, is quite an interesting option. Like I said, I wouldn't go for him yet, because he hasn't put together a run of games where he's scoring. But then you could like beat the curve in a way if you wanted to take a risk on him now. He loves a goal in a London derby. Also loves a goal against Man United, and that's who they've got next. Yeah, so if you like, I think going for Kane's like a good, like a differential but good option.
I don't have balls.
No, I don't either. But also, I would like Trent for next week.
Yeah.
Like, I think their fixture, I can't remember what it is, but it's Brighton at home. To be honest, Liverpool have got some quite tough fixtures, but you don't always have Trent in. You don't have Trent in for clean sheets, really. Like, it's a bonus if he gets a clean sheet, but a lot of the time he's there because he's going to get attacking returns as well. Yeah, I might wait to bring in Trent, depending on how he does against Man United. I think it will depend on what I do. But I don't think it's a necessity to have Trent right now.
No, I transferred him out a few weeks ago, and I don't think that he's done like anything like super amazing.
No.
I don't feel like I've been missing him so much. But my problem is I just don't feel like there's anybody that I'm like, oh my god, I must have this person in my team, attacking wise, defense even. Like I'm just like not convinced by anybody. So I think I'm going to try to go for Trent in defense. Because I like the look of potentially getting a clean sheet and attacking returns, and so maybe he ends up getting more points than an attacker. But I don't know. It's so difficult. I feel like I think nobody's in like super consistent form, probably because there's so many fixtures and we're seeing so many players get injured.
Yeah.
And with that international break as well. So yeah, that's kind of, I went for Toney, and I'm going to try to get Trent in next week. That's what I'm doing, but let us know what you decide. Osama said I went for Richarlison instead of Ronaldo.
Is he back? Is he fit again?
I'm not sure. Let's see if like the.
Oh yeah, look.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good shout. I've already got Tamari Gray though, and I quite like that. I know he's blanked. He might be one I look to take out over the next few weeks, but I quite like the look of Tamari Gray, and Decore's now out, so that's a good shout.
I was gonna transfer in Gray, and I didn't. After the wild card, I was gonna transfer him in, and then I didn't. And then he went on and got like quite a few goals.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I feel like I've missed this boat.
Yeah. He's been quiet for the last few games, though.
So I haven't. Well, guys, I think we got like to most of your questions. We've been chatting for over half an hour. I really hope that you enjoyed this London special link up. It's so fun. Hopefully I'll be back soon. I don't know when. I'm already like planning my next trip. When can I get back? It's been so cool. So Liv, thank you for coming to my Airbnb.
That's okay.
In person. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, follow Olivia on Twitter as well. Have her in the description box. And yeah, I'm going to be posting like some match vlogs. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be on Chelsea TV, so watch out for that. Super cool. Alrighty, guys. Hope you enjoyed this stream. Hope it was helpful. And yeah, until next time, we're out.